Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Señor G back again. So what is this conditional tense? We're looking at it right after the future tense because it is a little bit like the future, except it's a lot more iffy. We use it when we're talking about things that we would do, like, I would like to eat pizza tonight, or I wouldn't do that, or would you be able to help me right now? The conditional tense is even easier to conjugate than the future tense. In fact, it's the easiest tense to conjugate of all. And remember those irregulars in the future tense? Wait till you see them here. Here's the conditional endings. You'll see that each one has an accent mark, and the first and third person singular are exactly the same. Now let's look at some conjugations. We looked at aceptar in the future tense. Let's look at it again now with the conditional. Remember, we don't have to drop the AR ending.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Remember, accent marks on each one of these. Here's an ER verb, and it conjugates just the same.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Let's look at an AR, an ER, and an IR verb again. These are the same ones we looked at in the future tense. And once again, there's Diablos. There's always Diablos. But notice this. Do those verbs look familiar? Those are the same ones we saw in the future tense. And we do the same thing. We drop the E. The difference is we now put on the conditional endings. Same thing here. Those are those same verbs we saw in the future tense. We do the same thing. We change E or I to D. Only difference is now we attach the conditional endings to these verbs. Is it possible? Yes, it is. We also saw these final two verbs in the future tense, decir and hacer. All we do is drop the E and the C and attach these conditional endings. And just like we said with the future, compounds of these verbs also will conjugate this way. So if you saw predecir or deshacer, you'd also use this formula to conjugate. We use the conditional when we're thinking somebody would do something. For instance, yo pagaría por ver eso. I would pay to see that. ¿Hablarías inglés en España? Would you speak English in Spain? And ella no lo pondría allí. She would not put it there. We'll also use the conditional when we're thinking of wonderment or probability. For instance, ¿qué hora sería? I wonder what time it was. Llegarían tarde. They probably arrived late. Sabrían lo que pasó. They probably knew what happened. Just like we saw in the future tense where we could combine present tenses with the future, here with the conditional we can combine past tenses with the conditional. Here we have the preterite and the imperfect. First one, Felipe replicó que le gustaría ir a la fiesta. Felipe replied that he'd like to go to the party. Ellos decían que no terminarían el trabajo. They were saying that they would not finish the work. And finally, me prometió que ganarían. She promised me that they would win. See, now wasn't that easy? Keep this conditional tense in mind, though. We're going to look at it again when we look at something called the imperfect subjunctive. Until then, see you next time.